Silence! It's time! It's time! It's
time for another episode of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 380 of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. I'm your host, as always, I'm Tyler, and joining me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
I'll tell you what, Tyler. Games. That's what's up with me this week. After my working ethic and stuff, after going through and just doing a whole bunch of shit at my workplace, I decided that this, my time off, I decided to go through and invest not only inside of a few gaming-like decisions, but I decided to actually play some games today, which, of our recording is Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So, to be perfectly honest with you, I was still playing a bit of Destiny 2 with some of my friends, and I decided to invest inside of Shadowkeep. So that is something I already have bought. I've downloaded. I haven't told my friends that yet, but my key thing that I'm going to be going into is trying to complete some bit of the campaign stuff, some bit of the previous content that I had started with Destiny 2 before I got out of it early 2018. So it's going to be one of those type of things where I'm going to be playing with friends here and there, but I'm pretty much going to get a whole bunch of content, finish a whole bunch of content through strikes, through various exotic missions, through this and that, because there was a news that came out from Bungie this past week in regards to a lot of content being taken out by November.
Oh, I heard about that. Okay.
Right, I'll go into detail about it a little bit, but yeah, other than that, though, I invested inside of a month of Xbox Ultimate Game Pass because there are a few games that I wanted to play, that I have been interested in playing, or, honestly, I'm just in the mood to play them.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like, how have you been doing?
Doing okay, we had Courtney's best friend's birthday was yesterday, so they had like an all day, like I was telling you before the show, they had like a whole all day like
social.
Basically, yeah, social. No one peed in the cooler this time, though. Thank God.
At least that we know of.
That we know of. I'd rather not know at this point, but like they had like nails done, breakfast mimosas, Mexican food for lunch and margaritas, and then we threw a surprise party for her at their place afterwards. So it was a cool day. Like they blindfolded her from place to place and all that. And then I had to go over and help her husband like get the house set up and all that.
Ah.
And they made this jungle juice and stuff. He did, and it was like brown, so we kept calling it Iowa River water. But it was like 2 big things of like a Hawaiian punch, and then there was like 2 bottles of tequila, 2 bottles of rum, and then some other like liqueur and some other shit too. But it was very sugary. I was like, we're drinking it all night. I'm just like, I don't feel drunk. I just feel like I'm on a really bad sugar rush right now. It's like
they delivered it with so much sweet shit that it's like, well, we call it the Iowa brown water because, well, it's very disappointing all the way down.
Yeah. It tasted good. It was just it just didn't look very good. But no, it was fun. We had a fun time. They had like beer pong and stuff like that, and so it was good. The girls had fun. She had fun, so that's all that really matters. But it was a good time. But yeah, nothing too crazy going on me otherwise. Just clanging and banging. Enjoying my weekend off. That was always nice. But I don't know. You were talking about what you've been some of the games you've been playing, Gables. I want to hear about it. You wouldn't tell me for the show, so I want to know now.
All right. So before I wanted to get into that, there is a game that I have been playing that is relatively new. That just released on Xbox. Not Xbox. No, it just released on PlayStation Plus. And what am I talking about? Fall Guys.
Yeah.
So Fall Guys is a game which is a battle royale, but it's a competition, it's a big old contest between you and like about 59 other people, online randoms. And the whole concept is to survive 5 rounds and be the king out of all of those people. It all ranges from any type of mini games that they have, like you have to avoid obstacles, you gotta avoid falling down pits, you gotta go through and steal raccoon tails, and
Hate that game.
score soccer balls and all this other stuff. So not score soccer balls, now score goals. Of course, there are soccer balls, but there's also the occasional football, which is like, what the fuck? What's a football doing in here? Does it have any more points? Nope, just the same 1 point. Well, that was a waste of time. Anyway, long story short, this is one of those games I've been playing off and on this week. Went in with minimal expectation. I hardly seen any type of footage on it. I heard it was a fun game. I watched maybe a little bit from a YouTuber I love watching, Lost Pause, also known as Noble, to a lot of the listeners that know what I'm talking about. Big ol' anime fan that he is. So I watched a video with him and a few of his friends, and I thought it was really fucking hilarious, honestly, because with friends, with a whole bunch of people, like a group, this game seems like it's going to be the most, like, having one of the biggest blasts of a fun time that you could have. It reminded me, initially, kind of like how Rocket League was when it first released, because that was also a free game on PlayStation Plus. It's very fun with a group of friends, and I get the same type of vibe and same type of potential coming from Fall Guys. Now, what's interesting is when you start up the game, you don't get any type of tutorial. You get like maybe a brief tutorial, pardon me, but you're left to customize your character, your little paunch, little penguin-looking guy. And quintessentially, what you got to do is you immediately start. You're dropped into a match. All these mini games are random. And what's interesting is, like I said before, you'll come across mini games where you got to race to the finish and avoid all these obstacles and stuff. You have to survive like this gauntlet or something, avoiding being knocked off of a platform in order to like advance on or you have to steal a raccoon tail from some other player and stuff and keep it until the end times or whatever. So, with that in mind, let me tell you a little bit of my experience about Fall Guys. Simultaneously, this brings out the most competitive side of me that I have let out in a long time. I'll tell you what. Back around the 360, the PS3 days, back around when I used to play a lot of shooters, like, say, Halo 3, Gears of War, and stuff, I mean, I played the single player a lot, but the multiplayer stuff, yeah. I get angry. And not on purpose either. No, but because I recognize and I see the little idiosyncrasies, the bullshit that is, like, hidden inside some of the gameplay of Fall Guys, quintessentially. And what I mean by that, there was a round that I went all the way into, like, round 4. I had to survive this obstacle thing because there's this mini game where you have to stand on a platform, and all of these freaking walls pop up, and you have to go through like one of the holes in the walls in order to advance further and whatsoever. And then the last portion of this mini game, you got to start jumping over platforms, you see? And so basically what had happened was, on the very last platform, I jumped over the darn thing, and the game didn't register me jumping over it, and I got my foot stuck on the fucking platform. I glitched on the platform, and here I am trying to move my character, and I'm pushing all the way towards the edge. I'm like, son of a bitch! Oh, no, but I've had some fun experiences with Fall Guys, honestly. I have not won a single match yet, but I've gotten super close. I've gotten really close. As a matter of fact, the closest I ever got was when I had to go through this big ol' race to grab the crown at the end. I was doing so good. I was starting off great, and all of a sudden, I go across that portion of the map with all these freaking swinging hammers across this slime, and I thought I timed it perfectly until I hit one hammer, then I got hit again, then I got hit again, and I got hit 5 or 6 times in a row, and someone else got past me and grabbed the crown. I'm like, fuck. So what I'm saying, everyone, that this game brings out a competitive side to me that I usually have hidden, that I don't like to show too often. But I'll tell you what, even regardless, the game is so goddamn fun. And I'm just saying this genuinely, honestly. It's like, I will still go through and play games of Fall Guys. I'm not going to get the fucking Platinum Trophy because I think that's gonna be a fucking load of shit, because you have to win 5 games in a row. Yeah. How are you going to win 5 games in a row through random chance?
Yeah. I think like 0.2% of people have it.
I checked on the trophy for that specific one. I think you're right. 0.1, 0.2 is what I saw as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, from my experience of the game, there have been some fun moments as well where there's actual trophy where if you go through and you race against the other people and stuff through one of the races, if you taunt and then go across the finish line, yeah, that's a trophy right there.
But really? I had no idea.
I didn't know this either until I checked the list last night. But what's more hilarious is there are people that are online that when they race and they get right to the end line, they'll stop right there and you'll notice it's like, what the fuck are they doing? And all of a sudden they'll start to grab you and they'll start to go through and mess with you a little bit, like they want to be freaking trolls. Or I think there are some that actually want to get this trophy to pop and stuff where you can actually hug other players, and the trophy literally says is like 2 Fall Guys hugging or whatever the hell that is.
Well, and a lot of it sometimes too was like there's teammates and they're trying to like slow people down from getting through so their teammates can catch up to them.
Yeah, that's true too. But I'm happy to report that I have placed first inside of one race.
Nice.
Dude, the races are not bad. They're not bad at all. All you have to do is remember the pattern or what type of like initial start that you get. Because once you understand the patterns and you go through it over and over again, those are not bad. The types of mini games that are bad is you have random chance. And the random chance games suck ass. And I'll tell you why. It is like the soccer game. That in and of itself, that's the biggest thing of chance that you're going to get inside this game, personally, in my opinion.
I think the team games in general are the worst ones with chance.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Because you could be doing the best. You could have the best game this round, and all of a sudden you lose because 3 out of your teammates decide to go through and start circle jerking each other in the corner. But, oh my gosh. There was this one team game, right, where both teams playing against each other were tied, and we were in overtime. Yeah. And I was helping out my teammates and stuff like that. I had to go through and play defense, offense, do all this other stuff, until finally I see my shot. And I go through, the blue guy launches the ball in the air, me as the yellow guy jumps up, and I knock it into the goal. I'm like, yes, this game is fucking over.
Yeah. I had one, I was talking about it last week, I had that one last week where like, we went the whole time 0-0, went overtime, probably 3 or 4 minutes in overtime. And as like I was talking, like I think it was like 3v3 at that point because it was one before the final round or something, and it was 5v5, and all 4 of them were playing defense. Three of the guys were playing defense, and me and one other guy were playing offense, and then like the other team, all of them were just playing offense.
Oh my god!
So it was nice. I mean, it was nice in that sense because like we didn't have to worry about it. I'm like, we need some fucking help out here, and then finally I don't remember like what happened, but I had the same thing where it's like. They're all playing offense, and the ball got behind them, and I was able to like get ahead of them and run over there, and I did the jump and the dive, and I luckiest shot. Like I'm terrible at Rocket League, but I was just like every instinct in Rocket League that like everything lined up perfectly for me. Whereas like I just hit that like because I don't know how many times in Rocket League I've had like that lined up perfect shot and I just fucking whiff it, or like I hit it too hard and it goes flying and hits the top of the goal, and I'm just like everything. I was like, all right, please just God, don't just want it to be over, and I got knocked in and we won and I got to the finals, but I lost in there. But
Oh man, the worst is when you set up for a shot, or you know a shot is set up, and all of a sudden one of the fucking members of the opposite team goes and messes up the damn shot. I'm like, come on!
yeah,
Come on!
yeah,
This game is already shit as it is. Come on, I don't want it to be endured longer.
yeah. Or you see someone trying to play hero and it's like the ball's going in, man. Just leave it alone. And they hit it and they fucking knock it over. It's like in Rocket League when someone wants to steal the shot and get the experience points kind of thing. It's like they just want to bump it a little bit. It's like, but you don't get any extra points for scoring goals. You just gotta win. So it's like I've seen a lot of
Exactly.
times people just do that. It's like fucking just leave it be. Yeah, team games are the worst. But I mean, it's like if you're on the yellow team, that means you're on a random team. But so like the blue and the red team are always like that's the actual like team people playing together as a team, like in group chats and shit. So,
Dude, I'll tell you what, there have been games where like there has been a lot of eliminations inside of one single round. Case in point, there was this one race game where, I kid you not, it started off as like 32 people, and all of a sudden, through all of that, man, I didn't even realize this at the time. I started noticing that the how many people that qualify for the round started getting lower and lower and lower, until finally it's like there's like about 16 people or so left, and I go through like, where the hell did all the people go? And I realized that the last portion of his race, you have these swinging like lures or whatever the hell they are. They can actually knock people off and stuff and eliminate them, and I'm like, what? And so here I am. I pass, obviously, and I get to the next round, but I think it was really crazy how like 15, 16 people are just eliminated like that from like one game. And then all of a sudden, like to the third or the fourth round, this was like a second round match, almost. No, actually, It was a third round match, because you go from like 50 to like 45, and then all of a sudden to 32. No, I didn't go to 32, man. It went to like fucking 15. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, next round is something else. But the long story short, with Fall Guys, it's definitely an enjoyable game. If you have PlayStation Plus, download that game. Seriously, give it a shot. Invite a couple friends over. Do whatever. Because it's free on PlayStation Plus. It's available on Steam currently. There's obviously rumors and suggestions it may come to Switch as well.
yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun. It's better with a group of friends. But anyway, the next game. The next game is one of the reasons why I decided to buy a month of Xbox Live Ultimate Game Pass, and that is Streets of Rage 4.
Nice.
Now, Streets of Rage, that series, I've played Streets of Rage 2 off and on over the years. I had at one point the original Sega Genesis copy for Streets of Rage 2. I have played Streets of Rage 2 multiple times, loved that. I tried playing the original Streets of Rage through my Sega compilation disc on my PS4, and I got all the way until like the final stage, and oh god, the controls on top of how bullshit the AI is. I had to freaking use save states with that damn thing. I mean, it is frustrating as hell trying to play the original.
Yeah.
You play the original, all of a sudden you play the second game, and it's like the refinements is just night and day. The graphics, the controls, the combos. Streets of Rage 4, how this enters into the fray. It definitely has the combat feel of Streets of Rage 2. I'm still trying to get used to the combo system itself, because it's a little bit more technical in regards to how you use your special button, like for offense and for defense and stuff. But the controls are mostly the same as previous games in the series. Now, I love the artwork. I love the actual artwork and like the stage designs so far. I've only finished stage 1. I've tried to finish stage 2, but holy shit, the boss of stage 2 keeps kicking my ass because he keeps on rushing across and grabbing me in inconvenient moments. And on top of that, even the process of going through the stage, I'm on normal, by the way. I'm on the normal playthrough. And I'm coming across these security guards, right? That have the freaking shields that take like a hell of a lot of hits. And so I learned, through the process of trial and error, mind you, that 3 or 4 hits, step out of their way, 3 or 4 hits, step out of the way. Doing that while clustered inside 3 or 4 enemies becomes a chore because you're trying to go through and you're trying to fight different types of enemies, try to fight clusters of enemies with what you have available to you. And because I play a little bit more aggressively and stuff, I usually use a lot of my special techniques pretty early. Only at like maybe clusters of enemies, or if I feel like I'm getting in over my head on one specific thing. But other than that, though, the game in and of itself really feels like a game back from the Sega Genesis. And what I mean by that is the difficulty in and of itself feels really reminiscent of like Streets of Rage, on like Streets of Rage 2 in specific. I do love the animated sprite graphics. I do love the combo system so far. I do love the combat. It's nice. It's fluid. It's not overly complicated. Like I said before, doing like... oh gosh, I'm trying to remember his name now. It's not gonna... He's the main protagonist, pretty much, for Streets of Rage 2. Or one of the protagonists in Streets of Rage 2. Oh god. Axel. God damn it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, Axel. I usually love playing as Axel because of his freaking razor paw. But doing that, and also his special is pretty cool as well. But yeah, I'll tell you what. Going through the first stage in of itself, it was fun. It was definitely difficult in some spots, but it felt like I was playing through Streets of Rage 2 for the first time in regards to the opening type of scene and this and that. The music's gonna have to take it's probably gonna go ahead and probably take a little bit more time for me to get used to the music in and of itself.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
No, it's not bad. I didn't like it. It's not bad for like video game music, but Streets of Rage music is classic, man.
Well,
and
yeah,
it doesn't hold a candle to. I wish they would have just taken the music from the old Streets of Rage games and threw it in there.
Well, true. I mean, like I was saying previously, is like I don't feel like the music so far is bad, but I just need to get used to hearing a lot of the stage music and this and that. But overall, I'm giving some good impressions for Streets of Rage 4. I'm so glad now I'd have a chance to play it. Now, the other game I started playing, and I was having a lot of good fun with, actually. And it's going to be a game that maybe close friends of mine will understand why I would play this. But I played Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Now, this is a fighting game that Enway released a couple of years ago. I want to say 2017, or maybe it was 2018, when I think about it. But anyway, this is a fighting game, and it has an original story. It's not based on one subset of like the Power Ranger universe or this or that. But yes, back in the day, I was a huge fan of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I still love watching bits of Power Ranger stuff to this day. Hell, even on Netflix, I decided just for fun rewatching the original series because
I didn't know it was on there. Okay,
dude, on Netflix, yes, they have the Power Rangers, the original series. It's like season 1 is like 60 episodes. I'll kid you not. It's 60 episodes. However, you can interchoose which episodes you want to obviously watch, which I would humbly suggest if you want to go back in time with that. A lot of the first season episodes are fluff anyway, other than, say, the Green Ranger episodes, the ones that are like multiple episodes, you know, it's like a span of an arc. Like, for, say, the loss of the power coin, say, for the Green Ranger and stuff. Like, when the Green Ranger loses his powers because of, like, Jason not going into time, not being there in time to stop his power candle from pretty much melting all the way down and stuff because Rita stole the candle and they still have the candle and this and that and stuff. But, yeah, it's freaking spoiled something from, like, 1993. But, that just tells you how much invested I was, even as a kid, and still remember those stories clearly to this day. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. This story for this game is actually quite fascinating to me. And that's the number one thing I felt very surprised about. Bear in mind, I've played previous Power Ranger games over the years. I really love the original on the Super Nintendo. It is a Final Fight Streets of Rage sort of clone, right? But it has the Power Rangers. It has 5 of the 6. There was Megazord battles. It's a beat 'em up. It's really fun. It made sense. For this game, it's a fighting game. And I absolutely love my fighting games, so delving into the story mode, it's placed within 8 acts. And so the whole concept of the story is, so one day the Rangers are going through and training and doing this and doing that and stuff, but in pops into like some sort of interdimensional rift a Ranger, right? But he is basically Tommy Oliver, the original Green Ranger or something like that, from another universe. And that universe pertains to what happened if the Green Ranger stayed evil in that regards. And so basically, Tommy Oliver from that universe, he goes forth, kills Rita Repulsa, and goes and takes over, quintessentially, and figures out that by traveling through different types of eras and stuff from the other Power Ranger, like the years where all the Rangers, different eras, different this and that and stuff, by going through like the power grid that what Zordon had implemented or what was there, he could go and steal morphers from those things and all of a sudden power himself up to the extent to where he'd become like Lord and Supreme of like the entire like universe, the fabric of time and space, quintessentially. Now, it's definitely out there in regards to that stuff, but I feel it's very fascinating to me because you get to see a whole bunch of different types of like there's just an excuse to have a whole bunch of different Rangers from like different series clumped together. Like you have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then you have like the original series like that, and then you have the one that ties in from the Power Ranger movie that released a couple of years ago. And then it's like all these other ones, and from series I recognized and watched as a kid. You have Mighty Morphin, then all of a sudden you have things from Lost Galaxy. That's a series I watched as a kid, and even some obscure ones, say like Time Force and Mystic Force, the whole Disney affiliated Power Ranger like shows, a part of that. But from what I got from it, it's like this is like a big old epic saga where you have a whole bunch of different like Rangers teaming up with one another to try to take out Lord Draken, which is Tommy Oliver and stuff that has absorbed all this energy, right? And basically what he looks like, Tyler, is imagine you have the Green Ranger, right? And then you have the White Ranger, having both of those power suits merged into one. And so it's super menacing looking, and also it's super weird because you have like the White Ranger's like face guard, and then all of a sudden you have like the Dragon Ranger's like crown and stuff up top and his chest protector and this and that, And obviously, since Lord Draken took over in place of Rita, you have these weird type of things, like you have Goldar that teams like with him and stuff. And what was very hilarious, like I'm not too sure if you've seen a lot of Power Rangers growing up, Tyler, but they have the robot like Alpha 5, right? And Alpha 5 in this game is like inside that universe is merged with Finster. And when I literally saw it, it's like, okay, Finster 5. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is Finster 5? And all of a sudden I see it's fucking Finster and stuff with like a freaking head visor and all this other shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this abomination? And he's a fucking like technical type of whiz, so you have the monster making abilities with all this technical jargon and stuff from Alpha 5, and I'm like thinking to myself, it's like, oh shit. This is amazing, but at the same time, this is a fucking abomination of a character. But, okay, story aside, the gameplay is fucking awesome. I kid you not. It is button mashy, but at the same time, it does get fairly complex, especially when you could go through, you could pick up a ranger that you've never played as before, and all of a sudden you interchange between light, heavy, and medium attacks, and just start executing these fucking crazy-ass combos, similar to how Dragon Ball FighterZ did. It has that one more fight urge. Basically, for me, anytime I play a fighting game and I've had so much fun playing as a character, I want to play another round. I literally went through the arcade mode as the Green Ranger. Then I went through the first entire act of the story mode until I got into the point where I had to play as the Pink Time Force Ranger. I think her name is Jen Scott. And as I'm playing her, I'm going through and I'm picking up things. Okay, let's see what happened if I use the same type of strategies that I use like with the Green Ranger and stuff. Like I alternate between light and medium and stuff, and like do jump attacks and this and that. I was executing like fucking advanced shit that I wouldn't even have thought or dreamed of in some other games. Where here I am, I'm up in the air. I do this light medium combo, and all of a sudden I launch Goldar up, and I start just kicking his. I literally just start kicking his ass right to where he was juggling in the air. I was literally catching him juggling in the air and stuff, and all of a sudden I go and I end the combo with a fucking special. I'm like, oh my god, that was fucking amazing looking. I felt awesome doing it because this game does a good job of, even if you're button mashing, gives you that sense of accomplishment to where you're executing all these advanced combos and this and that. So the fighting game, it's more reminiscent of a Marvel vs. Capcom style. I want to say more like a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 style to some extent, because you can do assists. You can actually, not only can you do assists with other characters, but before the start of the match, you get to choose from one of a different type of Megazord. Or basically what you'll have is you'll have these options to where you can either pick say the Dragon Zord, the Megazord. There's even a couple like enemy ones and stuff like Goldar and stuff, and then like the Samurai Megazord I think is one of them as well. But how those work is when you hold both like L1 and R1 or left bumper or right bumper, it starts this like this Megazord sort of activation stuff to where they'll go through and they'll add their attacks against your opponent. And so you could go through and you have the Dragon Zord or something like that, just start using finger missiles all on the fucking opponent. And it looks crazy in motion, but it's so fucking hilarious. Especially when you have the Megazord as like your Zord of choice, and all of a sudden you see his power sword just swing across the stage and stuff and just start kicking the shit out of like a ranger's not even like standing, not even a quarter up his sword or anything like that. Oh boy. For my initial thoughts and impressions, story's fun. It's fascinating to me. It makes me want to play more of it. The gameplay is fun. I mean, there's some elements where it feels basic, but at the same time, the characters that I'm playing as, experimenting as, all of them feel broken. All of them feel broken, but that's the best part. It feels like to me that I'm like one or two steps away from doing a fucking infinite combo with each and every character. Now, online, I'm afraid to even go online with this shit because I know for a fact that if I'm able to do this and that, then so is everyone else. And so if I'm not blocking correctly, I'm going to get wombo comboed into a fucking corner and all of a sudden get juggled up until the end of the match. But last thing I want to say before I end my turn is I have still been playing Street Fighter V. I decided to go and complete, what was it? Yeah, Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter Alpha's arcade modes on hard with Ryu. It was not easy, obviously, because there were a few characters that gave me trouble. But I did something a little bit unorthodox. I decided a couple nights ago, like on Wednesday night, I think it was, I decided to go on to some ranked matches. And honestly, I didn't fare too bad.
Oh, nice.
There was maybe one match. I think there was like maybe one match in general that I lost. But what I was seeing is the fruits of my labor, where I had been practicing. I've been playing the game so much that I know exactly now that I need to be conservative when I'm playing against people. I need to know not to go the instinctual route of me jumping forward into attacks or into people, because anti-air. Avoid anti-air stuff. But what was very hilarious, I was facing off against people that would use, say, Ken or Akuma or Cammy and stuff. All of these characters are heavily used, to be perfectly honest with you. Cammy is more of a anti-air type of fighter. She's particularly good against fighters, say like Ryu, Ken, Akuma. They are called like Shoto or Shadow fighters, where very easy pretty much to pick up. They have a lot of good like aerial attacks and stuff. It was very funny playing against like the Ken and Akuma players. Like the and I'm not talking about like any type. I mean, like you kind of think they're like the lower tier of like Ken and Akuma players, because they'll go and instinctively try to bum rush you and try to overwhelm you or try to get you into a corner. And here I am, I'm like jumping neutral jumps in the air and stuff. I'm doing like little like footsies, quintessentially, that's what it's called, where in Street Fighter V, you try to feel out your opponent right, and you just go forward, back, or something like that. You're measuring up the reach of your opponent. And so quintessentially what I would be doing is I would go forth and let the opponent come towards me. I block some of his attacks, and then I would go through and subconsciously do low attacks, right? Light, medium. And when I did that, I realized I was pushing my opponent a little bit further, so that way I'd have a little bit more of an advantage going back and avoiding his next attack. So I implemented that knowledge, and what is funny as shit is they would go for these big old like air kicks, right? These big old Tatsumaki stuff with Ken, and all of a sudden, or like maybe a Shoryuken and stuff, and then all of a sudden I rush over, I grab them, and I throw them. And as you can imagine, I did like maybe twice in one match to one dude, and essentially I kept on winning matches by being smart, being conservative. Man, the best moment came when I was facing off against an Akuma player, and he won one match. Like, he won one match in general, like 2 rounds out of 3. I won, and all of a sudden the big old tiebreaker, I ended up winning because he got too aggressive. And so I pretty much went through alternating between my Hadoukens because the speed difference of the Hadoukens, like when you do a hard punch Hadouken, it's faster than all the other ones. And then when you do a light one, it's incredibly slow. So I was able to alternate through that, do a couple of different change-ups and stuff, do a couple of like a chip hits, like a good solid light or medium hit or whatsoever, and I caught him completely off guard to the extent where I actually won by just throwing him across the stage.
Nice.
But I'm realizing I'm being a little bit more methodical in my approach, and it's helped me out pretty good. But yes, finally, that is what I have been playing. So
Nice.
Tyler, what's up with you, man?
Playing a few games this week. I'll start off with the first one. I played the Battletoads. It's on Game Pass. I know you were saying that's one of the games. I think you said before the show that's one of the games you want to play on there.
Yes.
I think normally it's like $20. But played that one. I've only played maybe like 45 minutes of it or so, but it's short, I guess. It can be like 3 hours. I don't have like a Battletoads background. I remember I think it was like Battletoads cross like Contra or there was like a mashup with Battletoads. Double Dragon. That's what. Yeah. And I remember playing that, and I could never get past the first level. I just remember like that was always the knock against Battletoads, was like those games were extremely like ungodly hard, and so I don't really have any fandom towards or anything like that. But I remember like we were talking about it a few weeks ago when they got the release date, and like people that got to play it didn't really have a lot of nice things to say about it. But I'm not playing it, and I'm liking it quite a bit. It's a fun beat 'em up mash 'em, like that mash 'em up game. It's actually surprisingly kind of funny. Like they kind of got like that Saturday morning cartoon kind of look and feel to it, but they have said damn a couple times. But other than that, but they like the jokes and stuff like that. Like they're nailing. It's like it's over the top, like bad voice acting, but like it's on purpose, But it's like it's surprisingly like their conversations, like their witty banter, is like it's actually caught me a couple times. Like I've actually chuckled and laughed at a couple of them, and like it's always entertaining. And like just the graphics and stuff, it's pleasing to look at. It's like it's bright and colorful. It's like coming off of Last of Us and Resident Evil and Ghost of Tsushima, like very dark, gritty games. It's like coming to this, and it's just like this over the like very colorful, over the top. fun beat 'em up game where you play as 3 toads that one's named Rash. I think there's Zit and Pimple or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember those guys.
Yeah, and it's not like groundbreaking as far as gameplay goes, but as far as if you have Game Pass or if you're looking for something like that to play, like a Streets of Rage style game, this is perfect. And it's just fun, and like they have some stuff to break it up and stuff like that. Like they have the story is they were trapped in this alternate dimension for 30 years, and they're like gods there in this alternate dimension, and then they end up finding them like digging them out of a construction zone or something, and they're they have a news report, and and no one cares about these guys. No one can they're not they're going from being uber gods to now they're nobodies with these mundane Monday through Friday jobs. One of them is signing autographs for not for himself but for another guy. He signs the autographs for him and he gives it to the fans. And one of them is he works at a call center, and he's and there's actually little quick time events. So you gotta push buttons to do one guy's a masseuse, and you gotta give him massages, and then you got another guy that's he's typing the keyboard, but the fucking the computer keeps fucking up, and you gotta smack it, and you got there's a rhythm to the buttons you gotta press, and there's people in the background meanwhile are talking shit about them, at the water cooler. He keeps looking over at him. They stop talking, and he goes back, and you hear him talk shit, and he looks back over. It's I don't know. The whole thing is just the game, the gameplay. Honestly, it's still fun. It's fine. It's not amazing, but it's
right.
It's I like everything else more about the game. It's really really good. I want to keep playing it. So, I said, I've only played it for probably 45 minutes, but I said it's pretty short. But that's definitely I'm gonna jump back into.
Yeah.
Another game that I've been playing is called A Short Hike. It was on the Indies, the Nintendo Indies event we had earlier this week. It's only I think it was $6 or $8 on Switch right now. It came out I think earlier this year on Steam, but it is a very pleasant, relaxed game to play. So it's you're a bird, and you're going to the summer camp basically, and she's waiting on a phone call, but she finds out she doesn't have reception. She wants to talk to her mom. Mm-hmm. And her mom, she's and then someone's oh, you gotta climb to the top of this mountain to actually get. That's the only place in the entire. You're on this island, and the only place you can get reception on the entire island is at the top of this mountain. So the whole game is about getting up this mountain, and going through it. There's all these other people at this camp with you. There's people that they like rock climbing, and you can help them out. Or there's some ladies she likes seashells, so you gotta find a certain amount of seashells. And the whole point of the game is you need these what they're called golden feathers, and it's basically a stamina bar where it's you need so many of these to because you can't even you gotta climb, you gotta fly, you gotta do double jump, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it takes stamina, and so when you climb up the wall, you slowly lose these golden feathers. They slowly come back over time, but you need I think you need 12. I think 12 is the minimum you can need to get to the top. I beat the game, but you need so much to get to the top. You can buy some from this one guy, or you get you find them you find treasure chests throughout the game with sometimes they have money in them, or sometimes they actually have golden feathers in them. I bumped into one people and I played volleyball with them. Just one lady loses her headband, you can help her find the headband, and you can get to these you find all these new areas. There was areas after I beat the game where I found them I never even knew these parts were here, and but it's just a fun pleasant lighthearted game where it's just going around talking to people, and it's they're everybody there's charming, and it's a relaxed game. It's get to the top, you talk to your mom, blah blah, and it's the whole conversation is just very oh, that's sweet, it's I don't know, the music and the music they have going on the entire time is just it's chill, and I like it. It's a very sweet, endearing, charming game. I think it's on sale right now for 20% off, so I think it's $8 like I said, but I think I beat it in probably about close to 2 hours, but there's so much more stuff. It's a game as soon as I finish it, I'm I want to go back to this game. There's I'm hoping I can go back after I beat the game and wrap up some other stuff that you can do. But I mean, I highly recommend this game. For just anybody. It's kind of when I was playing, I'm it's almost like an Animal Crossing. With the animals, you're on an island. I kept having that and it's you can go around. There's all these charming people around the world, but it's I don't like the mundane parts of Animal Crossing, but if like this is like, I'm like, yeah, man, Animal Crossing was like this, I would be totally in on it. Like it's just like it's got that charm to it and that delight feeling that like I get like that like that giddy feeling people get and all that they love about Animal Crossing. I had that for a good couple hours playing this game.
Nice.
So if you're someone that's looking for like you like that world and that environment, you want more of it, but you don't want to play any more Animal Crossing, you want to break from it, like this is a great game to pick up. Like I said, it's on Steam. I think normally it's like $10, but it's on sale right now on Switch. But it's a beautiful game. I can't recommend this anymore. And then another game I played, I don't want to spend too much time on it, is Madden, the Madden 21. I got like I mentioned last week, I pre-ordered it finally. I broke down and pre-ordered it, but I do it. The last 2 years I've done it where like you get the EA, well, it's EA Access now. It's EA Play where you pay like $5 a month, and you get a discount you get 10% off on the game. And then like on top of that, if you buy the game, if you go like the last year's game, so I went like you go on Madden 20, and like one of the things in the front pages is you buy it through Madden 20, you get a 10% discount off as well. So I got 20% off on the I didn't get the MVP. There's there's a $100 edition, there's $80 edition, there's a $60 edition. I bought the one that's 80, and I ended up getting it for like I think it was like $64 or something like that. So
that ain't bad.
yeah, so then you get 3 days early. So it comes out, instead of getting it Thursday night, I'll get it Monday night. But it came out this past Thursday afternoon. It came out on the EA Play to play for. You get a 10-hour trial. I've been playing it, and it's. I think the gameplay. Obviously, the gameplay is better. They've done a lot with like the pass rush, where it's like it feels a lot more. Like, there's a little more to it than what it was for. Like so it used to be like just mash the buttons until you like get past the offensive lineman and snap the quarterback. Now there's some like. It feels more like I think what you want, like a little more realistic of what you want. There's like there's some detail to it. There's a little more technique to it, and then like they changed it like last year. Like passing the ball was like stupid in this game. Like passing is already like it's a lot easier now than ever to do to like especially get big plays, but the last year's Madden were like it's still incredibly easy to pass, but running the ball was so much easier. Like I would regularly run the ball 15 times a game for 250, 260 yards, like easily. Like it was just like it's a close game. I'm down 3 points with 2 minutes to go. Like instead of passing the ball, it's like, well, I can just run this play and I'm pretty much gonna get guaranteed 20 yards and I can run out of bounds or blah blah blah. So they did a big change to that, fixing all that. But like they added the main thing, the big thing they added was the yard. Which is like their NFL Street for this game. And I don't like it at all. So far, what I played of it, I played the. They have like a mobile version that came out a few weeks ago, and like whatever you do in that one, whatever like experience points and coins and all that shit you earn will come over to. They'll jump back and forth. There's like the cross, not cross play. What's the other one? Cross. You get all the experience points you get in the main game and the mobile version, they go through
cross
back
save.
And forth. Cross save basically, yeah. So whatever you do in both one version will tie into the other one, and like on the mobile one it's 3v3, and on the main game it's 6v6, and I don't know, it's just there's no running or anything like that. It's only passing. There's no actual like offensive lineman play at all either. So it's like if one person passes or one person rushes you, it's like they got a clear shot right at you. But there's like a 3-second like delay. Like they gotta do like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi before they can actually blitz you. But it's like you can pass the ball behind the line of scrimmage as many times as you want. So like you can hike it to the quarterback and you can throw it to like a receiver can run backwards, throw it to him, and then you can throw it to somebody else. And it's just I don't know. It's like and you can even hike it to whoever you want. So there's like there's one person hikes it and then he runs his route, but you can set up he can hike it to anybody on the field, any of the other 5 people on the field. But I don't know, it's just kind of feels like random and hectic. And then like on top of that, like like you earn coins and shit like that, and you unlock stuff as you level up, and you can buy stuff with in-game coins. But like you can buy stuff with real money in that game, and it's fucking ridiculous. It feels like oh man, 2K is doing all this shit to like an NBA 2K to get all this extra money. Like they want that money It's like for a fucking visor, like they're charging like $5 in real money for a goddamn visor, and like if like individual pieces, it's just I don't know. That stuff kind of irks me more too. It's like I'm not that like I'm never actually gonna spend that money on that stuff. Like I'd never like that's the reason I never get into like the ultimate team shit. Is like 'cause that's just fucking ridiculous. There's even like a guy that he booted the game up. He got an early copy. He bought $1,000 in real money in booster packs for Madden Ultimate Team, and he played it for a few hours. And he's just like, yeah, I don't like it. I'm just gonna go back to last year's version. And it's like he like it shows him like opening these packs, and he's all excited. And he's having a great time like opening these packs. Like you're getting all that fucking like it's like a casino. It really is like it's fucking doing the yeah. And it's gross and disgusting. It's like the fun part of the game is buying the packs, not playing the game with the packs that you earned. It's I don't know. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, it really is like when you're a kid and you buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Pokemon. It's like you get all excited about what am I gonna get? It's like, oh, okay, I didn't get anything good. You get a Charizard or something cool like that. It's like, all right, cool, I got a Charizard, but eventually those endorphins kind of run out. But yeah, I don't know. The gameplay is fine. It is what it is. Like it's frustrating like how slow the menus are, and then like randomly doesn't work. Like I've had issues where I couldn't even like get into a game. I go to like click on and start the game, and it'll like load like it's gonna start the game, and it just takes me right back to like where I just was. And like so, I mean, I know it's like I'm playing it early, but it's like this is your trial thing of like to get people in to like play this game and buy this game, and it's like it's running like shit. And I've had issues like in the game where like a receiver didn't catch the ball, like obviously he didn't catch it.
Yeah.
And like I even went back and watched a replay, but the game counted it as if he caught the ball.
What?
So yeah, so it's like the ball like he landed 5 yards in front of him, and the game counted as a catch. And even the announcers like said something like about how, like that it was incomplete and all that. And it's just like they just moved on. Next thing you know, it was like he threw because I was playing the guy, and he threw a 40-yard pass down down the middle of the field and landed incomplete. And then next thing I know, they line up now they're inside their own 10, and I'm like, what? And it's like I even challenge it. I did challenge it, and they still counted it as complete. Yeah. So I'm just like, okay. So yeah,
it's real authentic NFL officiating.
Yeah, it's just because I do the EA Play thing. I've done the last 3 years. I did it 4 years. I used to do it on the Xbox before it came to PS4. So I'd pay the $5 for the 1 month. And play the 10-hour demo before, basically a demo. But anything you do in the game will carry over to the main game if you buy it. So I'd always do that in years past, and it ran fine. And when it came out, like it is what it ran. It was okay. And there's other things that like irk me, where like like big players that are free agents right now in real life aren't actually in the game, like Jadeveon Clowney, Antonio Brown, Des Bryant, Anderson Griffin, like big free agents that are probably gonna be signing with teams any day now. I was looking into it, like they're not the teams like Madden's not able to put them in the game until they sign with the team for some reason. But there's other free agents that are like every other free agent in the game, except for like the biggest four that are free agents right now. So it's like, the first thing I was gonna do is like, all right, I'm gonna sign JJ and Clowney. Like I had a whole plan. Like I do it every year. I'm like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do when I start Madden this year. And it's like I went in there. I'm like, okay, well, none of them are in the fucking game right now. So that's a big deal when you have.
Wow.
The best receiver in NFL today isn't in the game right now, and then maybe one of the best defensive players in the game today also is not in the game right now. So I don't know. It's all a lot of little things, but I don't know. It's Madden. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it's the gameplay it's fine, but everything else about the game is just frustrating to get into the game because everything runs so slow. And half the time, click the button, it doesn't actually register. They click the button. Once you get in the game, like it's fine, except for, I said I had a couple moments where like, I had another moment when I was rushing the quarterback, and I was like 3 or 4 steps away from sacking him, and my guy just stopped mid move, like he just froze, like that one player just froze, and like I had a clear, wide open sack, getting ready to hit him, and my guy just stopped moving, and I was just like. Okay, and everything else ran fine. Just that my one player couldn't move anymore. So, yeah. But I've seen other people like they've had way worse issues where like the offense just didn't load. So they went to go like mid game, like all of a sudden the offense just stopped showing up on the field. It's like, which I remember that's happened to me a few times, and like NCAA games back in like the 360 era. Where it's like you go to start and everybody's there but the quarterback, and it's like you can't hike the ball. So it's like, all right, guess I'm not playing this game anymore. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. I'm gonna play more Madden this week, and then I want to get more into Battletoads. That's kind of my main thing. But we do have a decent amount of topics to get into this week, so let's jump on into them. We'll jump on to first with the I think maybe the bigger news of the week. Well, I guess not really, but we'll do it anyways. The Indie World Showcase, an indie event we had, I believe on, was it Tuesday? Showed off a bunch of the indie games that are coming to the Switch. I think the big thing of it was that a lot of games were just like shadow dropped. Like I think there was like 5 or 6 games that were shadow dropped for the event. The big ones are like Hades, which is from the creators of I just fucking spaced their names.
Supergiant Games.
Supergiant Games, yeah, but they what else did they make before this?
They made Bastion, and they also made Transistor.
Transistor, which is really funny because they had the other game that came out 2 years ago, the weird
Pyre.
Yeah, I don't know why I just blanked all their games. And like I love the other games, but like Pyre was just not good. And it's funny, they were talking about like from the creators of Bastion, and it's like they totally just pretended that fucking Pyre didn't exist. And even when they cut to like one of the developers on the game, they had a picture of the other two. They had a picture of all their games except for Pyre in the background. And I was like, oh, okay, we're just not going to mention that game existed. But Hades, it's been in early development for a while now, but that is going to be coming this fall to Switch. It's the roguelike game that looks like everything I want that game to want from them, but because I love their games, but I hate roguelikes. But they had a lot of other stuff. They had like the Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero coming early next year. Garden Story was announced. Spirit Fair, Bear and Breakfast, which it looked interesting. Raji and Epic, Ancient Epic, Takahashi and Hiroshi, A Short Hike, which I talked about earlier. Card Shark, Torchlight 3, Haven, Evergate, Manifold Garden, which was a shadow drop, Going Under, the Red Lantern, Unrailed, She Dreams Elsewhere, Inmost, which everybody kept calling it Inmoist, which was disturbing. Struggling, Grindstone, Goner 2, and the big thing at the end here, the one more thing was Untitled Goose Game is getting a 2-player co-op mode starting September 23rd as a free update. So we both watched this. What did you think of the whole thing, Gables?
All right, for the indie event in and of itself, man, I was surprised with the amount of stealth drops that went into that. Of course, there were plenty of games that there were stealth drop that I kind of really don't have too much interest in, only because of the fact, well, this is the first time I've seen them. This is this and that. One of the games that I really am kind of interested in trying out, obviously, is Hades. But God, I'm trying to remember exactly what other games that I could remember from it. And to be perfectly honest with you, other than Hades and stuff, I really thought that the indie event in and of itself was fine. I mean, there's a lot of stealth drops. There's definitely a lot of stuff that I felt people that wanted to play some more games on the Switch, now they have every excuse now to go forth and choose a couple of them, download them, and then go through and try them out.
Yeah. What did you think of the Untitled Goose Game co-op?
Oh my god, the co-op stuff at the end. I actually thought for a moment that it was a sequel to Untitled Goose Game. Like, what?
I know. I was so brokenhearted when it was co-op.
But I tell you what, the whole co-op and all that other shit, man, that was so hilarious. Actually, I was actually laughing at the concept. All of a sudden, two gooses or something like that, their head just popped up from the pole.
Yeah, I loved it when the kid is laying on the ground covered up and they're still both honking on him. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be online co-op, but man, I hope it is, because Gables, you and me are gonna the Extra Life.
Oh
if it's
my
online
god,
co-op, we're playing through that game together.
Oh my god, dude, that I would look forward to that so much.
Yeah,
just streaming it live, and all of a sudden, both of them are just like honk, honk,
honk, honk, honk. It's on Game Pass. Like, I'll gladly replay that with you, or I'll buy it on PS4, whatever we gotta do, because I have it on Switch as well. But
let's see, I got it on Switch, and obviously through Game Pass and stuff because of what Microsoft has it on their service stuff. But hell, I don't care when, but where I'm gonna play that. But
yeah,
that's gonna be fun if it's like online co-op. It's even more excuse to play through that awesome game.
Yeah. Yeah, oh man, I hope it's online because that'd be fucking awesome. I thought this was one of the better ones though, for sure. Like where I feel like most of the time it comes out of it, I'm just like maybe like there's a lot of games. Oh, it looks interesting, and that's kind of like as far as I go with it. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll check it out when it comes out, and then when they come out, I don't even check them out or I forget all about them.
Yeah.
Well, I thought a lot of stuff stood out. Like Card Shark, I thought stood out. I'm like that's a game that I might want to check out later when it comes out. Like I said, Hades is. And there, if it says roguelike, I immediately like lose interest in a game. But it's like I love their games. It's like I love Bastion. It's like fuck, man. Like I don't know, I might check it out when it comes out. Give it a shot. But like I mentioned, Short Hike sold me immediately. I did also buy Raji, an epic, ancient
cool.
epic, which is it looked like a kind of like a indie version of like a Prince of Persia style game. Not a wall running, but it looks good. I haven't played. I haven't started. Go ahead.
Now that you mentioned that and stuff, that was actually one of the other games that I thought looked pretty cool too. Now that I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prince of Persia mixed with like some sort of like, it definitely gave me that Prince of Persia vibe with like another action game, but I forget which one it was.
Okay. But yeah, the Bear and Breakfast one as a concept looks interesting, but I don't know if I'll play it, but you have my attention on that one.
Well, yeah, true.
Yeah. But obviously I think the Untitled Goose Game is like the big thing coming away from it. Like I said, we just talked about if that has online co-op, it's gonna be gladly replay that game again, because that'll be a fucking blast. But moving on to another topic here, sticking with Nintendo, there is a rumor from Jeff Grubb, who is kind of like the king of scoops at this point, or giving out reveals for the video game showcases and stuff. He's the one that 6 weeks out told us the date of the June PlayStation 5 reveal event. He gave us a date for the Xbox reveal event. He's told us many times when there's going to be directs or big announcements coming for, like, he's leaked stuff from EA. He's leaked Ubisoft's Forward. He's the one that told us about the Mass Effect reveal, and he's also the one that revealed all the Mario 3D World 35th anniversary games as well. But he has come out and said that there is apparently going to be a Nintendo Direct coming this Friday, but he did say that it could be another, because they did say they're going to do a partnership one soon again. So he said it very well could be a partnership. It could be a mini. It could be I guess it won't be an Indies event. We just had one, but he said it could be. It very well might not be a big one, but he did say that he's been saying for a while there's going to be at the latest sometime late September. It will be the latest we'll go without a direct, but he feels it could be earlier because they're having a Nintendo has called in like a emergency like stockholder investor call. And
right.
the assumption is like they're going to want to have all their big stuff out there before they get into the investors call, where if they go in there with nothing said at all, like there's going to be a lot of concerns from the investors, obviously. So he's assuming that, I think that's in 3 weeks. So you got to imagine, well, if this isn't the big one that we've all been waiting for, that will be coming in the next couple weeks. But I don't know, Gables, like, I mean, I don't know, I don't want to. I keep getting excited for these fucking things, but it's like,
yeah,
we just had the partner one that was obviously a big disappointment. We've had a couple minis that were disappointments, but I don't know. I mean, where are you trying to keep your? Are you able to keep your hype level down, or are we at level, like red level right now? Because I'm getting close to red level.
To be perfectly honest with you, man, I really don't have too much hype level on this at all, because for one, it's already been close to a year since like any type of major like direct stuff has happened.
Yep, December 19th was the last one we had last year.
Yeah, but the thing about last year around this time was it did come after a indie direct, not even too far after. But at the same time, Jeff Grubb, the person who has went through and commented and saying that we're going to be expecting some sort of announcement from Nintendo, perhaps by the end of this week. Yes, he has been correct in terms of guessing certain things in regards to, say, the release date. Not the release dates, but like the announcement stuff for the PlayStation 5 and like other types of stuff. But with any other types of rumors and stuff, I'm not going in with such a high expectation, because there has been rumors of direct stuff, Nintendo Direct stuff, and what could potentially be in it over the past few months, obviously. And we've gotten multiple types of little miniature directs, indie directs, like Nintendo Direct Minis and all this other stuff. Basically, Nintendo's cut into chunks all this type of like snippets of information as like what an entire Nintendo Direct would have been in June potentially, for like an E3 like event. But I'm not ruling out that if they are going to remotely do something, maybe Mario related or whatsoever, if the rumors persist and it does play in like line, then it's got to be somewhere towards the end of August or sometime in September. I mean, hell, the main game that they have going off for like say October, it's like freaking Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like really all three companies are gonna have something here soon. But Jeff Grubb's always been really good about, like he's pretty much nailed like he's either, maybe not the date, the exact date, but he'll get like the week right. And I mean, I think for the most part, I think a lot of these directs, well, not true. I guess the partnership was like on a Monday. That was like announced like 8 hours in advance. And then we had these ones on Tuesday, but I don't know. I mean, I guess we don't have like a logical thing for like what days are on, but I don't know. I mean, it feels right. It seems right. I mean, but I guess I could make the argument for myself. But I don't know. I think there's gonna be one. I'm trying not to get too pumped up about it being the big one that we're all waiting for, we all want. But I hope so, because it's just like we're all like the PlayStation and Xbox are fucking driving me goddamn nuts with their playing chicken bullshit right now, and it's like Nintendo. It's like just somebody give us something, It's like give me a fucking bone here,
Yeah, pretty
something.
much. Yeah, exactly. You have Sony and Microsoft doing their freaking chicken / increased e-boner contest with one another, and then all of a sudden you have the lame duck that Nintendo's doing, where they're chipping little bits of information right there, but not really doing too much of anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So and it's crazy because it's like they've released Animal Crossing this year, and a couple smaller stuff, and it's just like, and Paper Mario, and it's just like they're gonna have one of their most profitable years ever, without doing anything. I guess Animal Crossing, but
and yet they're still selling Switches.
Yeah,
they're still selling games a lot.
Yeah, like fucking Ring Fit sold like 7 million copies. It's nuts. If anybody's profited the most from this shutdown, it's
quintessentially
it's been Nintendo.
Yeah, quintessentially Nintendo, in my honest opinion, is sort of like the Luigi meme, where basically they're winning without doing nothing.
Yeah, yeah. It's like we're taking a year off, guys, and it's like they're lapping the competition. Yeah. So, but speaking, talking about that stuff and with what's going on with chicken, Xbox apparently the reveal for like the Lockhart and everything like that, their full blown event has been. It wasn't official for August, but that has been the running thing, is that it'd be in August. Has been pushed back to September now, so who fucking knows? So we won't hear anything from Xbox till September. And PlayStation, Jeff Grubb, once again, he's been kind of the king of like information on this stuff. He said that we should hear something from PlayStation in the next couple weeks. So maybe I'm hoping maybe this week or this coming week or the next week we'll hear something. But I mean, obviously, we're getting to the point where it's just like
I am tired of hearing about all these fucking
rumors. Because it's just like I was listen to like a lot of video game podcasts and stuff like that. And obviously, watch video game on YouTube and Twitter and shit like that. It's just like I'm just so tired. It's kind of like remember like microtransactions was like a big thing a few years ago after like Battlefront 2. It's just like it was like every day was just like little tiny details of shit, and it's just like even like we talked about it. It's just like I'm tired of talking about it. Like I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. But it's just like I just want to mention it because it is news. But it's just like I'm exhausted. This year is exhausting, mentally, physically, everything in general. And it's like video games is like our one hobby, our one thing that kind of like makes us forget about all the bad things in the world. And it's just like you guys are exhausting us even more and stressing us out and annoying the fuck, because like these are not gonna be small purchases. Like people need to know like how much like we most of us we need to like plan in advance when the fuck. And plus it's gonna be that's holidays, so there's a lot at that point too. So now it's like you're getting close to the fucking Christmas and all that, so it's like we need to make plans. Like we're talking about I mean, just let's say the console's $500 itself. It's like, okay, now you can buy a console. Maybe you gotta buy a controller. You're gonna have to buy at least probably 2-3 games, and and who knows what else on top of that. So it's like, I mean, it's like you gotta give us, like, especially this year, where it's like a lot of people are struggling. So it's like it's gonna be even harder for people to put that money aside. So it's like, no.
So I'll be brutally honest with this to both Sony and to Microsoft: either shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this bullshit. If you're not going to go through and announce your goddamn pricing and your release date for your damn system, then quit stringing people along, because you're going to be losing a lot more fucking interest inside of this stuff. I mean, both these systems have lost interest with me a long time ago because of the fact I doubled down and said to myself, hey, I'm sticking with my PS4. I'm sticking with my Xbox One right now.
Yeah.
Both of them are still giving me some good content. And besides, this next console generation, it's not going to truly hit its stride until the second or third year.
Yeah.
That's how I honestly feel.
Yeah, and it's I get that. I think like a lot of people know that, but it's just, I don't know. It's like me with Madden. It's like I know it's not much, but it's like I need it. I want it. But yeah, you're right. It's just like even worse now, where it's like Halo Infinite got delayed. And it's like, okay, and now what the fuck is Xbox to do? Deathloop got delayed to spring 2021.
Yep.
It's like, okay, which is that's a big blow. I know it's not. Everybody's like, we all, I think for the most part, it was like everybody forgot about that game for the most. I mean, I imagine if once we got into like when everything was out, we got the ball rolling on, like, okay, now we can start advertising for this. They because that's gonna be a PS4 PS5 exclusive. And it's like they can really pump that out and pump it up a little bit and get it out there. And I think we'd all be hyped up for a game. That's the game I was looking forward to. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm with you though. It's just like we gotta get the ball rolling on us here eventually. It's like, let's just get it out there. It's just like I'm just watching this corporate pissing contest, or, is just, it's like I know, like, the big thing going on with the Apple and Epic and shit like that. It's like that's the big thing going on in gaming news. It's like I don't even want to talk about it because it's just like it's just like I don't want to hear about it. It's like when I listen to like podcasts, they start talking about like fast forward, don't fucking care anymore. Like, it was interesting for a day or two. And it's just like it's just them doing little stupid shit that the win over people. It's like ooh, Epic's the little guy. I'm like, Epic is worth $18 billion. They're not the little guy. I mean, I know they in this case. I mean, Apple is a $2 trillion company.
Yeah, the company that owns Fortnite is the little guy in this situation.
Yeah,
really,
it's like fuck off. It's like I don't. It's like I I'm all behind what they're doing. That's cool. Like, but they're doing it for themselves more than anything. And like, oh, but if they help the little guy along the way, awesome. But if they can help themselves first, they're gonna help themselves first. So it's like that's why I don't even fucking bring it up on the show. Other than right now, it's just like same thing. It's just, what the Xbox and PlayStation. It's just like, just fucking say it. Just do it. Who cares? Like, can you just like have a meeting? As all right, guys, we're gonna release these consoles at the exact same price. All right, cool, boom, done. Let's move on. Like they need to get together and like decide what they're gonna release these consoles at, so they can just fucking get this shit out there. But moving on to some other topics here. The WB Fandom went on yesterday. It was like a big all-day event. Like, it's like 24 hours, but I don't think it went on for the full. Like, I don't know. Most of the news was out by 8, 9 o'clock at night. So it started at like noon, Central Time. But so the big things coming out of it was we had WB Montreal's new game finally revealed, even though we knew everything about it going into it. But the Gotham Knights is what it's called. This is the people that made Batman Arkham Origins. So in this one, you play as the key things in this one is like, so Batman is allegedly he's dead, and it's an open world Gotham game. It's more like an action RPG. You get to play as Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin. Each character has like their own abilities and weapons and customizable suits, and you can do optional 2-player co-op if you want to, or you can jump back and forth between the characters and the missions that you play. But we both watched the trailer for that, and then they had like an 8-minute long like gameplay reveal, all that, and like the Knight of Owls is like the main bad guy in this game. It's gonna be coming out 2021 for this current gen and the next gen consoles as well. But finally, after we just finally talk about Xbox and all that. Like we know most of the shit. Just show me the goddamn thing now. It's like same with these WB games. It's like we knew everything. Just fucking show us. So we've seen this Gotham Knights trailer and some gameplay. What'd you think of it, Gables?
Gotham Knights actually looked pretty decent from what the initial gameplay that I did see. It looks like it's very fluid, like very close to style and scale as like some of the Batman Arkham games. I did like the aspect that there is some form of maybe a co-op element in it where you have like team attacks, you have you are able to switch maybe on the fly with different characters. I saw like Red Hood and freaking Robin or like Nightwing or freaking Batgirl. Then just have the different type of skill sets, different types of other options to use inside of a specific situation or that. I think that would be a really cool co-op game idea, especially if the gameplay is as fluid as say like an Arkham game. So this definitely has a good potential, and I did quite enjoy what I saw.
Yeah, me too. And like it has like the, there's like looks like there's a level mechanic because like the enemies had levels, and like the numbers when you fight them, like the damage, like you see the numbers above their head and everything too. So I don't know, it looked good. I think it's like, it's kind of more in the realm of what we expect from like the Arkham games, very dark and gritty. And this one does not take place in the Arkham universe. I think because Rocksteady's thrown a lot of shade at WB Montreal, where like the like when they did like the whole Arkham trilogy thing for PS4 and Xbox One a few years ago. It's like they like made sure to point out that Arkham Origins is not a part of their like that storyline, that like that's not their game, so like they don't count it, which is kind of shitty because they're like the same team. But anyways, so this one does not take place in that universe. It's its own thing. But I thought it looked really good. I like the gameplay they showed for it. I think this game could be a blast. This was coming out next year, but yeah, I was for years of anticipation, and literally 2 years of them teasing this game on Twitter and everything like that. It's like this revealed lived to the hype for me. This is a game I'm looking forward to. I'm itching to jump back into a Batman game because we are like, maybe I guess you don't play as Batman, but back into that universe, back with those characters, because we haven't played a actual like real WB game, but besides like our DC game besides Injustice since what was Arkham Knight 2015? I want to say June 2015, July. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it's at that point it'll be 6 years. Next up, the other game they showed off, it's just a teaser trailer, was Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. This is going to be a 2022 game, and I believe it's only been announced it's going to be on the next gen consoles and PC, obviously. But we both watched the trailer on that one. Gables, what did you think of that one?
Honestly, I really liked the concept of the trailer. I really did like the whole aesthetic where it looks like Brainiac is like infiltrated the freaking city and stuff like that. Then I love like the interactions between the characters, like Harley Quinn.
Yeah, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, and King Shark were the 4 characters.
Yeah, I really love the dynamic between those 4 because it definitely was funny just going through and seeing their interactions and stuff, but also very funny where Superman pops in out of nowhere, is like, oh, hey, he's saving someone, and all of a sudden he just wastes him and stuff, and it looks like he's clearly under the influence of like Brainiac and stuff. That I love that one scene, that one part where the guy just walks is like, oh, okay, well, who are we fighting? And all of them just point to Superman. And what was even more hilarious is like afterwards and stuff, the fucking guy just tosses his gun at the back of the head of Superman. Like, what the?
He's like, should have done that one, King Shark.
Oh my gosh. I love the reveal trailer. I hope we do see gameplay of this game maybe within the next year. I'm fairly excited about it. I'm not gonna lie. Rocksteady, I've liked a lot of their games. Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City and stuff. Didn't play through Arkham Knight and stuff, but I am interested in seeing what direction they go in the gameplay and the stylings for Suicide Squad. So yeah, it could be anything, quintessentially. It could be quintessentially almost the same as, say, Gotham Knights in regards to co-op play or this or that, or it could be specific chapters with one character or whatever the hell. Well, whatever it is, though, I'm kind of interested in seeing how the scope and scale with different superheroes, say, from the Justice League, like Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, kind of wonder if Batman is going to make an appearance in that as well.
Yeah, that we talked about a few weeks ago. Where it's like, the Suicide Squad movie wasn't great. I know the Birds of Prey was I like that one quite a bit, but it's like I don't think a lot of people. It was like one of the lowest grossing DC movies that they've made yet, and it's just like, I mean, I think the title of that had a lot to do with it, and also just the Suicide Squad movie was awful. But it's one of those things where like this teaser trailer, could have easily, I think, for a lot of people, like going into it's like, I don't really give a fuck about Suicide Squad, and they don't really have a lot of popularity behind them. I mean, obviously we've seen like people like Guardians of the Galaxy was the same thing. It's like, this is how deep we've gone into like how desperate like Marvel is with like with the Marvel movies, where it's like we're going into the Guardians of the Galaxy guys, and it came out and like a lot of people like that's their favorite characters in the whole fucking universe of the MCU, and they have a chance of doing that here with the Suicide Squad guys. I think like, but they very easily could have lost us. I felt like it was very important that they nailed that trailer and that teaser, and I think they did a really great job. For I'm always been someone that's been very like, I don't get super hyped too much for trailers, or like these like kind of trailers don't show gameplay or don't give us any actual details on games, but like on this one it's like it's very important to like nail it, make it like funny, show something, make it interesting, because if it came out and it was bland and flat, like this game could have been in a lot of trouble. Like it already had a lot going against it anyways. But I thought the like you laughed multiple times at this trailer. I can't wait to see more from it. I'm interested, but it's just like, here it's supposed to be 1 to 4 players. You can play the whole thing on single player, but what does that mean? Is that because it's the thing is supposed to be the games of service kind of thing? Like, is this going to be online always kind of shit like we like Division and Destiny? Because like you could play those games single player as well. I'm hoping it's more like a Borderlands 3 kind of thing, where it's like you can play single player, you're not gonna be online all the time, and like people can jump in and out whenever they want to. I hope it's more of that style than the always online part. Agreed. That's more me, like more of us personally, where it's like I don't like playing games where I'm forced to like be online and there's no pause. Like we are people that a lot of people have shit going on and they can easily have to like walk away for 15-20 minutes or have to go
like
somewhere.
Random,
it's like,
or even like random disconnections, all of a sudden
that too.
Game just goes through. I've had that multiple times trying to play Destiny 2 this past week, and it's really fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like my internet likes to disconnect like 3 times a day for no reason, and like that would be very frustrating. So, I don't know. I hope it's it's what I want it to be, but I don't think it's gonna be. But yeah, I thought they did a good job, and I think they nailed what they needed to nail. We probably won't hear about this game for a while because it's the 2022 game, but yeah, it looks good. It's like, and it's gonna be a little more lighthearted because like it's a good counteraction where Gotham Knights is that very dark, gritty game, and this one's it's brighter. You're actually in the daylight for the first time ever, and there's gonna be some comedy too. Obviously Batman didn't talk much when he did. It was usually grunts and moans of him beating the shit out of people. So and also just fighting Superman and all that, like. That'd be fun. Like, even though we just did that with I've done that twice now with Injustice 1 and 2. I'm still for it, especially if we're gonna have different characters doing it this time. But I think, Gables, that will wrap it up for this week. All
right.
Yeah. So I thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to hear more from us, we have a Twitter, a Facebook page and group, Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts. We're on iTunes. We're on anywhere you can think of to download a podcast. We are there. So please. Go to those places, leave reviews, thumbs up, follows, subscribes, comments, whatever you can do to help us. We really, really appreciate it. If you did all those things, you just look up Drunk Nerds Pod, Drunk Nerds, Drunk Nerds Podcast. Wherever you can, look for us. You'll find us. Appreciate you guys if you do that for us. And thank you for listening. I was Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. So until next time, everyone, I hope you have yourself an excellent week. I hope you work hard. Definitely earn that brass ring, but most importantly of all, thank you for listening to another fun-filled episode of the Drunk Nerds podcast.
Hey, Gables.
Yep. Too sweet.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Excuse me. Few too many beers there. Anyways, we're on iTunes now, so go on there, check us out, and if you like us, leave us a review, and we'll even shout you out. And Jack will send you his credit card number.